Hello everyone. Mansha, Iqbal, Srishti, Arpita, Shivam, very good afternoon to all of you. सबका बढ़िया चल रहा है. I hope Thursday बढ़िया चल रहा है. Um, Before we are done with anything else, and while we are looking at the last lap, the last few days, so to say, leading up to National Law School of India, University, Bangalore, and the CLAT examination in general. We are at that stage where obviously in this session I am not going to be talking about what is your syllabus or stuff like that, because I expect that you guys are probably prepared with most of those things. What I am going to be talking about today is what is that last extra secret kind of things, right, that separates the top 200 from the top 50. What is that secret sauce or a not so secret ingredient which basically separates the top 500 from the top 100, and stuff like that. That's what I want to talk to you about today. And just to be sure, and just to sort of psychologically be satisfied, at my own level, I also want to introduce you to the best, arguably the best law school, not just in India, but I think across at least Southeast Asia, and probably competing for the top spot with almost all the European colleges included, whether it is, at least at undergraduate level, definitely competing and perhaps successfully competing with colleges like Oxford and even the American ones like, Harvard or Yale, and so on. So let's look at it directly. देखा जाए कि क्या आखिरी कुछ दिनों में, राइट, पढ़ाई तो आप लोग कर ही रहे होंगे. अभी सिलेबस डिस्कस करके 3 हफ्ते में तो कोई पॉइंट नहीं है, कोई सीक्रेट क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस करके कोई पॉइंट नहीं है. देयर आर सम couple of things that all of you should definitely keep at the back of your mind. There are certain habits, right, that you have to compulsorily ensure that that's part of your everyday life. And that's the kind of things, that's what I want to discuss with you today, right? Finally, NLSIU ka discussion. I was waiting for so long. No worries, Aditya, no worries. Bilkul aaj charcha hogi. One of my favorite colleges of all time as well. As you can see, of course, I did get an All India rank 20, which is good enough, by the way, to qualify NLS. Of course, there are still 19 people who actually did slightly better, and I hate them till eternity and back. But you can understand. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to be looking at today. Just a gentle reminder to all of you before we start off with National Law School of India, University, Bangalore, that the enrollments for comprehensive course batch 6 has already begun. The batch has been launched on the 25th of June for those of you who want to give the exam next year. There are, of course, the rapid revision courses, the mega booster series, the legal reasoning syllabus, and so on, which is also happening as we speak every single day, and right up to your CLAT examination. ये सारी चीजें बिल्कुल होती रहेंगी, and that's what we're going to be discussing. There's also the crash course for BHU Jamia. The batch 3 enrollments are going on as well. And those of you, last but not the least, if your examination is even 2 years later, right, you can get into the habit, you can get into the routine and make the most of it. Okay, much has been said, much has been discussed, and I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to this. At the end of the day, At the end of the day, National Law School of India, University, Bangalore is the experiment at Nagar Bhavi. So Nagar Bhavi is basically in Bangalore, right? Nagar Bhavi is in Bangalore, and NLS Bangalore was earlier, it was basically National Law School of India. It was basically National Law School of India, and it was part of Bangalore University. It was earlier part of Bangalore University, and later on NLSI became NLSIU, right? NLSI became NLSIU, and NLS became a separate university in itself. It is the oldest law school. It is the oldest law school with a 5-year integrated program. It is the oldest law school with a 5-year integrated program. It is for the first time, right, that experiment was done, led by Madhav Menon, Professor Madhav Menon, who was the first Vice Chancellor of National Law School of India University, and the Chancellor, of course, was the Chief Justice of India, and still is. It is one of the only national law universities, very interesting, जहाँ पे आपके जो चांसलर हैं वो आपके स्टेट हाई कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस नहीं हैं, right? It is not the state high court chief justice, it is the Chief Justice of India, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who is your chancellor. The only other law school is NUJS Kolkata. NUJS Kolkata भी कैलकाटा हाई कोर्ट के चीफ जस्टिस वहां पर चांसलर नहीं है. चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया is actually the chancellor of even NUJS, क्योंकि NUJS के भी फाउंडिंग वाइस चांसलर प्रोफेसर माधव मेनन थे. Of course, given the fact that 1988, right, 1988 से ही शुरू हो चुका था this grand experiment of bringing law school and the experience of law school directly, right, directly to 12th graduates, right, कि अब आपको बीच में 3 साल का ग्रेजुएशन करके उसके बाद एक 3 साल का LLB का प्रोग्राम करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Right after your 12th you can go and pursue a professional course in the topmost law school of the nation, right? So given all of those things, given that it's been for so many years, we have had excellent alumni, arguably one of the most successful alumni across all colleges. मतलब सिर्फ लॉ कॉलेज क्या, आप किसी IIT से भी कंपेयर करिए, किसी IIM से भी कंपेयर करिए, तो भी NLS has pretty much the same quality of alumni. We have Rhodes Scholars, we have bureaucrats, IAS officers, Indian Foreign Service officers. Obviously partners and associates have flooded the topmost law firms, like including when I was working at Amarchand. Obviously most of the people working at Amarchand were from NLSIU Bangalore, right? The partners, most of the partners that I reported to were from NLSIU Bangalore. So it is a massively successful law school for sure. अब तो high court के judges भी बन चुके हैं, right? So they're extremely dominant in the judiciary as well. They're extremely dominant in the bureaucracy. Obviously there are a lot of senior advocates now from NLS Bangalore. Unmatched batchmates, because यही लोग ही आपके batchmates ही जब इतने competitive होंगे, right, इतने competitive होंगे, obviously you tend to become just a little more competitive yourself as well, right? Just a little more competitive yourself as well. And of course there are exceptional facilities, whether it is visiting lectures from the topmost senior advocates, faculty members who are also absolutely fantastic, like my first semester ka first class, right, my first semester ka first class itself was taken by Professor Rahul Singh, who himself is an alumni of NLS Bangalore, right, and then went on to become the Etta Dana Maya Dana scholar at Harvard Law School, and after finishing Harvard Law School and all of that, came back and was teaching at NLS Bangalore. And he's not the only one. He's not the only one. It is also the Vice Chancellor currently, right? Sudhir Krishnaswamy himself is also an Oxford graduate and an NLS Bangalore alumni himself, who has now become Vice Chancellor where he himself was a student. So there are exceptional faculty members, there are exceptional facilities. The Narayan Rao Melgiri Library is once in a lifetime experience in itself. 5 साल वहीं पढ़ाई करना तो अलग ही बात हो जाती है. It is the home to so much of entrepreneurial spirit as well. It's not just कि सिर्फ law की पढ़ाई होती है. Sports fest बहुत बड़े होते हैं. Cultural fest, Strawberry Fields is something that I would suggest all of you should Google up, and you'll have one bomb of a time just looking at the previous videos, of Strawberry Fields. So sports fest, cultural fest, and in the end, that's what I'm saying, कि वहां पर खुद के businesses develop करने वाले भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं, right? बहुत सारे लोग हैं. People have become sports journalists. People have started sports law firms, right? People have started a restaurant in London, right? By playing online poker while traveling through Europe, and this is all only NLS Bangalore alumni, which is across law schools में. So it's a very very fantastic experience. जितने भी world के top chief justices, I think somebody was asking also, Dheeraj, I see your question on the YouTube chat कि chief justice of India भी कभी आता है क्या? 100%, 100% chief justice of India तो आता ही है, because he himself is the chancellor of the law school, right? Then there are other judges of Supreme Court, etc., who keep visiting. NLS hosts one of the largest arbitration competitions in the world, NLS arbitration competition itself, right? NLS also hosts the Manfred Lack Space Law Moot Court competition, जिसके finals को International Court of Justice के judges, ICJ के 3 judges आके judge करते हैं. So there is a lot of it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be part of this elite group of students. जीवन भर किसी भी lawyer से मिलोगे, NLS Bangalore बताओगे, तो already first impression is already very very spectacular, right? और इतनी सारी बातों के बीच में I see more than 90 people are online, and I see only 42 likes. So please do drop us a like while we are talking about the experiment at Nagar Bhavi. I'm sure all of you are feeling energetic. I'm sure all of you are looking forward and gunning for God, as my title today seemed to be. I hope all of you are really hunting for the same exact spots at NLS Bangalore. So please do drop us a like while I move on to a few more tips. One of my favorite sports persons is definitely Muhammad Ali. And when I think about Muhammad Ali and the kind of things that he's a very very famous motivational speaker as well. So I want to start in terms of the last 3.5 weeks, that 3 weeks and 2 days. 3 weeks and 2 days that you have left for your examination. I want to start with what Muhammad Ali had said. Don't count the days. अब of course मैं 23 days बता के बोल रहा हूँ, but still what he said is you should make the days count. What I would suggest is make every hour count, right? Make every hour count. Make sure you have a clear plan. I always suggest that you never, in these last few weeks, right? Last few weeks की बात है, never pick up a new topic to study. Completely new topic नहीं, जितनी पढ़ाई हो गई है, right? Whatever you guys have already studied, you need to revise and practice those areas. You need to revise and practice those areas. You don't need to pick up a new topic. अगर कुछ छूट गया है ना, तो अब वो छूट गया है, कोई बात नहीं, right? Just make sure जो नहीं छूटा है, जिसकी पढ़ाई आप कर रहे हैं, वो एकदम दमदार तरीके से हो. You cannot, if you're looking for the top 55 law schools rank, right? The top 55 ranks, 75,000 people and only 50 odd people, just a handful, are going to walk through the hallowed gates of National Law School of India, University Bangalore. So therefore, right, don't take the risk. जो आता है इंडिया के हाईएस्ट लेवल पे आना चाहिए, right? जो भी आता है इंडिया के हाईएस्ट लेवल पे आना चाहिए. So don't pick up a new topic in the last 2-3 weeks. What you need to do is make sure that you are revising, right? Sleep, revise, eat, practice, revise, practice, sleep, and repeat. Repeat, do until you die. Another very, very famous Muhammad Ali dialogue. Please do keep that at the back of your mind. कोई 10 push-up कर लिया, कोई 20 push-up कर लिया. It's not about 10 and 20. It's not about counting it. It's not even 100. It is enough. If you're doing 2 mocks a day, try to do 3. If you're sleeping 9 hours in the night, try to sleep for 7. If you're already sleeping 7, try to sleep for 6 hours, right? There are a lot of these things. जो last 3 weeks का push है, right? Last 3 weeks to paradise, last 3 weeks to reach the top law schools. Please make sure that you make every single moment really count. करेंगे ना आप लोग? Tell me. And while you're thinking about yes, can you do it or not, drop us a like, guys. Drop us a like. प्यार थोड़ा सा कम दिख रहा है क्या मुझे? I'm so sorry, मैं अभी तक chat पे ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दे पाया. Let me look at the chat as well. It's been quite flowing, in fact. Where can I start with? I'm just going to start the last. Okay, like that. Sir, are there any Magic Circle law firm partners? Yes, Aditya, there are Magic Circle law firm partners as well. I mean, I assume you're talking about NLS Bangalore alumni, right? Yeah, of course there are there. Sir, I heard that governor is the chancellor. No, Aditya, the chancellor of NLS Bangalore is the Chief Justice of India, right? The NLS chancellor is definitely the Chief Justice of India. Unfortunately, domicile से इसका national character बर्बाद करे. अरे अनमोल, ऐसा नहीं है. वहाँ पर enough general category के और across India से from all the states, you will have the smartest of the smartest people that are going to join you as your batchmates, and you already have fantastic seniors and absolutely extraordinary alumni which have already graduated from NLS. So don't worry about it too much. Doing law from abroad is beneficial or not? I mean, in certain contexts, I always recommend, Aditya, कि undergraduate law जो है, right? Undergraduate law जो है, that you should definitely do in your own home country. उसके बाद masters या specialization कुछ करना है, for that you can probably sort of go abroad and do it and so on. So please do discuss about the reservation, and yeah, it doesn't have too many effects because competitively it's similar. So my score is 80. Can I get top NLU from SC category? Piyush Raj, that's it's an interesting question, but at the end of the day, I think it will depend. It will depend on the level of difficulty question paper का कितना है, right? What about Jindal Global Law School? Ansh, I was in the Jindal Global City and the Jindal Global Law School campus just yesterday. In fact, today morning also I just left Sonipat and I've reached Jaipur now. I'm on a good and decent road trip. But Jindal का तो entrance हो चुका है and Jindal का results भी आ चुका है, right? So both the entrance as well as the results have already been done and settled. And to be honest, if you really ask me to compare Jindal with NLS Bangalore, well, the sheer quality of students, alumni, seniors, juniors would probably force me to say that, to be honest, there isn't a real competition between Jindal and NLSIU Bangalore. That's more than 107 people watching. By likes में भी तो हम लोग का एक छोटा सा patient type का, but एक century likes में भी बनता ही है. The last few things I'm going to talk about Twitter. So how can I improve my scores? Been stuck between 85 to 90. Well, you need to follow these things. Just don't pick up new areas, don't complicate it, just do whatever you're already doing, practice a little more. Figure out where your questions are going wrong. Is it a speed problem कि मैं slow होता है, time खत्म हो जाता है? What is the specific challenge that you are facing? Would also be very, very helpful to understand. Right, Srishti, I've already liked it. Awesome, Srishti. Thank you very much. So your calculated guess for NLSI, the level is like of previous year. If it's pretty much like the previous year, then my calculated guess would be anywhere above 107 to 108. should be enough for getting NLSIU Bangalore. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm getting hiccups. Okay, so we're stuck at a very interesting number. Huh? This is you have reached 3 figures. Okay, so maybe it's not updated here, but okay, sir, I can score around 110, 15 mostly. It is possible. Yes, Kruta, that would certainly be a good thing. That would certainly be a good thing, and the rank cutoff should be anywhere in and around 60. In and around 60 is should be right. That should be enough for NLS Bangalore. That should be enough for NLS Bangalore. Mainly I'm doing an RC and logic. Will CLAT be postponed now? I really doubt. I really doubt the CLAT is going to be postponed anymore. Okay, so anyway, just a few things that I wanted to say in the end. All of you know that the examination is going to be bang in the middle of the afternoon, right? And since it is in the middle of the afternoon, therefore you should all pick up the habit of not sleeping in the afternoon. इतना आप लोग बिल्कुल आदत डाल लीजिए, right? Ensure that you're not sleeping in the afternoon. Make sure that you are definitely staying healthy enough, right? Make sure that you're definitely staying healthy enough, right? It's not just about COVID. मैं ये COVID के context में नहीं कह रहा हूँ, right? मैं COVID के context में नहीं कह रहा हूँ. I'm generally telling you, right, that you need to stay healthy. If you enjoy, like, obviously the point is not specifically about bike stunts, right? But matlab, just don't get drunk and drive. I know most of you don't drink, but if any of you are, and नहीं मैं तो इतना पढ़ाई करता हूँ, मैं थोड़ा सा पार्टी कर सकता हूँ. अरे पार्टी करो लेकिन ध्यान से, जो भी करो. This will be a really bad time to injure your finger, like to fall down the staircase and have like just a fracture on your hand. पूरे साल भर की मेहनत बर्बाद होती है, right? And see, every year there are at least a few people who suffer through this exact harassment, right? Through this exact harassment, which means it could be you. I hope it's not, but just taking that extra precaution in your everyday ordinary course of life might make all the difference in the world, might make all the difference in the world. Definitely make sure that you're used to doing OMRs, right? That you're used to doing OMRs, right? कि शेडिंग करने की आदत हो चुकी है, उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं वेस्ट हो रहा है. These are all things that will very important at the end of the day. इसी से आपका 1-2 mark extra, right? That 1 mark extra, that 2 mark extra, that whole difference, right? That whole difference could be based on just these things. क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं है कि अब आप knowledge बहुत vastly improve कर लेंगे, right? That's not going to happen. पढ़ाई तो अब जो होनी थी almost हो चुकी है. अब सिर्फ revision हो सकता है, practice हो सकता है, थोड़ा speed बढ़ सकता है, right? So how do you improve those things? Keep practicing, keep revising. Make sure you are able to improve your speed, right? By doing shading. Just ऐसे ही एक दिन बैठ के ना shading करना 1 घंटे सिर्फ शेडिंग करना. देखो थोड़ा सा शेडिंग में भी स्पीड इंप्रूव अगर हो सकता है, इट इज ऑल गोइंग टू बी very helpful, right? Every minute that you're able to save in the CLAT exam is priceless, right? Every minute is priceless. Please make the most of it. Sir, OMR should be filled with pen or pencil? Pen. OMRs should be filled compulsorily with pens. Please make it a habit. Please make it a habit to use pens. Rather than with that, मैं देख रहा हूँ कि आप लोगों की प्यार मोहब्बत से likes में भी यहाँ एक बढ़िया सा century हो चुका है. Thank you so much everyone for so much love. So please answer my question. For Karnataka students, what would be an ideal score? It's not a massive difference, Rutushri. It is really not a very massive difference if that's what you're thinking. I would believe that that to be safe you should probably be looking at a score of at least above 100. At least above 100, because there's barely like 30 seats, right? You will have 30 smart students from Karnataka as well. So don't underestimate कि भाई अब तो स्टेट रिजर्वेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा आसान हो जाएगा. बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसे ज़मीन आसमान का फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. राइट सर, जेल पेन और डॉट पेन? डॉट पेन, बॉल पॉइंट पेन. अभी डॉट पेन सुने हुए कितना दिन हो गया वेद भाई, सुन के बढ़िया लगा. बट डॉट पेन नहीं है, वट एवर, इट्स द बॉल पॉइंट पेन. The ballpoint pen is what you should be targeting. Sir, then is sports quota in GNLU. GNLU पे एक extra जब session हम लोग करेंगे राहुल, I'll try to cover it. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it specifically, so I apologize for not having the right information. But CLAT की website पे आप GNLU का brochure खोल के एक बार check करेंगे ना राहुल, so you will be able to find the final position about it. धैर्य सिंह राजू सर, आप इतना अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं सर. अरे हाई फाइव धैर्य. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll take that as a huge compliment. Very sweet of you to say. Sir, which pen? अरे हिमांशु, ऐसा एकदम नहीं है, बस बॉल पॉइंट पेन होना चाहिए. बॉल पॉइंट पेन शुड बी गुड टू गो. सर, बैंगलोर में कितने सीट्स है अंडर ग्रेजुएट? आपका रैंक टॉप 55 या मैक्सिमम टॉप 60 में आना चाहिए. राइट सर, दिल्ली हैव नो वन लॉ कॉलेज. दीपिका, NLU दिल्ली तो है ही. Why would you say Delhi has no law school? NLU Delhi is in Dwarka, sector 13 metro station के पास. अगर if you are from Delhi, you can just take a metro, go down to sector 13. I visited NLU Delhi so many times. It's a fantastic law school in itself. Of course, NLS Bangalore is NLS Bangalore. There are two categories of law schools. You know, if I have to tell you, not that I want to disrespect any other law school, I have utmost respect. I have the utmost respect for the alumni of all law schools, professors, vice chancellors, and the institution of education and the quality of education that they bring. No doubt about it. But at the end of the day, there are two categories of law school in India: NLSIU Bangalore and others. Right? NLS Bangalore and others. जैसे अमेरिका में भी होगा ना, तो आपको देयर आर वेरी वेरी गुड लॉ स्कूल्स, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे हार्वर्ड सुन के एक अलग फील आती है ना, ऑक्सफोर्ड सुन के एक अलग फील आती है ना. ऐसा नहीं है कि NIT बहुत खराब है, बट IIT दिल्ली कोई बताए, IIT खड़गपुर कोई सुन के अलग फील आती है. ऐसा नहीं है कि AFMC पुणे में मेडिकल की पढ़ाई अच्छी नहीं होती है, बट एम्स दिल्ली, राइट, एम्स दिल्ली इज स्टिल एम्स दिल्ली. NLS Bangalore is that one elusive, legendary kind of a college, which is really, it's just two categories of college at the end of the day, right? So yep, that's what I would say. Sleep for some time, of course, but revise, practice and repeat until you die. Do until you die. That should be your motto for the last few days. Literally just 22 days to go. So please make the most of it. Make every hour count, make every day count, and feel free to stay in touch here, and we will keep on having certain interactions. Please tell about Nalsar. I think couple of people have asked me Nalsar का एक अलग से हम लोग सेशन कर चुके हैं. I would think a score of anywhere above 102 to 105 should be safe for Nalsar University of Law. NLU Delhi का कट ऑफ कितना जाता है? NLU Delhi का एग्जाम ही अलग होता है. दीपिका, NLU Delhi has a separate examination, that is the ALET examination. Are you giving the exam this year? Because the date for filling up the forms etc. might have already ended. Sir, I count every minute. Dheeraj, क्या बात है? Making every minute count is important. Counting every minute is not important. Okay, sir, but the fees of NLUs is very high. If you qualify any of these top national universities, fees will not be a problem. You will easily get an educational loan from any government bank. Right? बस आप अपना रिजल्ट लेके जाइए, बैंक आपको बिठा के पानी चाय पिला के बढ़िया से एजुकेशन लोन प्रोवाइड करेगी. Because the banks also know that if you're going to NLS Bangalore, you will easily be able to repay your whatever कॉलेज फीस का, एंड यू कैन repay it in like less than 1 year, राइट? फीस हाई है, बट वो इनपुट और आउटपुट को भी देखना पड़ता है ना, इनपुट और आउटपुट. अब सोने की खदान खरीदनी है तो पैसे तो खर्च होंगे, दैट्स ओके, बट गोल्ड माइन का ओनरशिप होगा तो थोड़े पैसे कमाओगे भी तो. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. जस्ट स्टडी like there is no tomorrow, just study like there is no tomorrow, just qualify the examination, and that is the final achievement that you should really be looking forward to. So 25% state exam के बाद अब कितनी सीट बची है? जनरल कैटेगरी में आपका टॉप 55-60 का रैंक अगर आएगा, प्लस माइनस होते होते, वेटिंग लिस्ट होते होते एडमिशन मिल जाएगा. इफ यू गेट अ टॉप 50-60 रैंक, राइट, टॉप 60 तक तो आई बिलीव इट शुड बी गुड इनफ, इट शुड बी गुड इनफ. सार्थक कौन से एनएलयू में कम फीस लगती है? आई थिंक द लीस्ट इज एनएलयू लखनऊ, probably the least is probably NLU लखनऊ, बट मतलब वो बहुत ऐसा जमीन आसमान का डिफरेंस नहीं है, जमीन आसमान का डिफरेंस नहीं है. as long as you get a top 60 rank, you will qualify NLS Bangalore. That's the number of seats, that is the rank that you should really be taking thinking about, right? What can be the cutoff for NUJS? 5-7 marks काट लो और क्या, just about 5-7 marks should be good enough for NLSIU Bangalore, right? Of course, the bunch of people who would be helping you over the next 3 weeks as well. Expert तो ठीक है, चलो मान लेते हैं मैं भी थोड़ा बहुत expert. There's also Abhimanyu, Nivedita, Surajit from National Law Universities, and of course the non-NLU but highly trained and highly experienced faculty members who are going to be taking you through the other non-legal kind of subjects. So do stay in touch, make the most of it, keep prepping hard, right? Remember Muhammad Ali's statement, don't count the days, make every day count, and do until you die. हाँ, बस अब ये नहीं कि अब जाके मोटिवेशनल कोट्स बाय मोहम्मद अली ढूंढने में टाइम वेस्ट करना है, वो सब कुछ लॉ स्कूल पहुंचने के बाद, राइट? वो सब कुछ लॉ स्कूल पहुंचने के बाद. And of course, I will be here tomorrow as well to talk about a few more things. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for a lot of love and support that I could see today as well. We've 125 plus likes, guys. Thank you for all the love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely Thursday afternoon and evening ahead of you. Bye, everyone.